Hello, everyone. My name is Kai Unity Kai. We have Nicrowassassin and Mr. ManicProfessor tonight. We're going to be bringing a podcast to you on the topic of popular culture with an emphasis on anime and manga and how this relates to influences on society. And in specific, we're going to integrate Dragon Ball Z, and we might also even speak a bit about One Punch Man and maybe even a couple of other anime and manga pieces. So, with that, I will also make a note that ManicProfessor's audio tonight, he is experiencing a couple of issues there with signal, so it's out of his hands. He doesn't,
If
not
I
able
try
to,
to speak for a moment and
yeah.
try to have the people hear just how bad politics is.
So there you go. It's pretty throttled, as you know what I mean. So a little bit of issues with his signal, but he's going to try to talk when he can, and when he can't, Mr. Nicro Assassin and or myself will read off his messages for the topic here. So with that, I'll go ahead and hand it over to Mr. Nitro, and he can go ahead and add his piece in there. So Nitro.
Ka! Hello, everyone. Yes. Well, when we were talking about like pop culture and Dragon Ball, R.I.P. Akira Toriyama. He was probably one of the best mangakas to ever exist to come out of Japan, and I'm truly sad that he has passed. That being said, holy crap, I am just a big fan of Dragon Ball, and I'm looking forward to the new series called Dragon Ball Daima that's coming out. And I'm looking forward to see how his predecessor, not his predecessor, what's the word for his successor?
Yes.
Yeah, his successor, who's now fully taken over the series now that Akira Toriyama is passed. Looking forward to seeing where he's going to take the series as a whole. Now that Super is now out of Manic said Manic successor.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree
But
with you. I think that it is always very interesting to see where a successor can take the series. Not just that, but I mean, same for like an organization, you know, a new boss. What are they going to do? How is it going to turn out? And you could say that the successor for Dragon Ball Z probably has a lot of weight on his shoulders, or maybe he feels that way, but I don't know. Would you say that he had a lot of exposure to the creator? Worked with him close, would you say, or?
well, it's been noted that they worked hand in hand. Like Akira Toriyama had gave direct notes, approval, and stuff like that to all the other person's work.
Well, there you
Like
go.
even though Akira Toriyama himself wasn't like specifically like involved like 100% like he used to be, but he's still involved up until this last bit.
I got you.
And the last chapter with Piccolo waving goodbye is just the best way to send him off.
That does sound very nice. Very sentimental.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wish I knew more about Dragon Ball Z and manga, or is that how you pronounce it? Manga or manga?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's manga, just depends on which side of the world you want to say it on.
Okay. Um,
But
so I don't know very much about the lore. Like I've seen episodes, you know, I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, like I know some of the main characters, Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo. What's the Cell? I think is one of the enemies.
yeah.
So One Punch Man, I mentioned to you prior. I think that's pretty cool. You had mentioned that that's influenced by Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. There's a enemy that looks very much like Piccolo, but he's like purple, and he just gets obliterated by Saitama. It's one of those that shows up at the very beginning, and he just blows it away.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then there's the whole the Fish King with his transformation. That's very much Dragon Ball influenced, maybe not like 100%, but there is some Dragon Ball influence because there's a character named Zarbon who, in his original form or in his main form, looks like a pretty boy, but when he transforms, he turns into this like ugly lizard creature.
Oh, okay.
While the Ultimate Fish King from One Punch Man starts as somewhat like this person that tried to be pretty but was like still monstrous, but then turned into even more of a monster when he got wet.
Oh, that's very interesting. That's cool. I like that idea. Okay.
Yeah. So, but like Dragon Ball, when it originally started, was a Journey to the West parody. Or not a parody, but like a version of that story. Because Goku was Sun Wukong, Oolong was the pig, Yamcha the bandit, and
I gotcha.
Bulma was the priest.
Yeah. Also, I was going to call to you, Manic. Manic, what is your idea or what is your opinion on anime or manga? What is one of your favorite shows, episodes, and how do you think that's influenced the Western audiences? And also, Nicro, what do you think about that?
Well, first, what made me laugh because what Manic type was, I too become a monster when I'm wet, which is just funny. My favorite anime of all time is Tenchi Muyo.
Ah, never heard of it. The only three I know of, Dragon Ball Z, One Punch Man, and what is it, Attack on Titan?
Yeah, I gotcha. Tenchi Muyo is a Toonami original. It got started with when the Toonami got started. It was this harem comedy that was also a sci-fi drama, and it was just the best.
So explain to the audience what harem is, if they don't know.
Harem is essentially a person with a collection of the opposite sex that either they want the person or the person wants them. But
give an
generally, Genghis Khan and all his women.
Okay.
Essentially, like all of his wives, how that was a harem. But instead of like in the anime world, the general geist is that the main character surrounds themselves with the opposite sex of what they're interested in.
Okay.
So like a guy with a bunch of women or a woman with a bunch of guys.
Right.
And the example of
so that's
Rama
a harem.
one half.
That's a harem.
Yes, it essentially is in the anime world because generally they can't go all the way with, X-rated stuff unless they are into that type of anime, which doesn't get popularized outside of those sites.
Yes, I understand what you mean. Okay.
But with the harem, it's generally going to be a comedy series because just the hijinks that can entail of having multiple women wanting the same person or multiple men wanting the same person. But it's presented in a way that it's not about the physical, it's more about the emotional things that each character brings to the relationship that they find themselves in.
Well, see, that's a very good principle, really, because here in the West, what do we focus on immediately? Looks. That is the very first thing that we focus on. It's a primitive thing, but so in the Eastern culture, or within a specific regard to what you're speaking of, it's more of an emotional connection first. So that's a very humanistic way, I guess, because you're foregoing the looks to really look inside and see who the person is, right? Don't judge a book by its cover, as the saying goes.
Yeah, very much. There is that in this anime, but there are still very sexy people in this anime as well. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, sex sells, right?
Ryoko was my first waifu.
Ah, okay. Do you know who Kasumi is from Dead or Alive?
Dead or Alive?
The fighting game.
No, I don't play that series.
You've heard of it, I'm sure, at least, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've probably seen screenshots and I've definitely heard. I was just trying to like wait, dead or alive.
Yeah. Yeah, Kasumi's one of the main characters in the game. Please
Okay.
explain what a waifu is, says Mr. Manic Professor. That's a good question. Um,
A
Nicro,
female fictional character that I would want to be in a relationship with, but I know cannot actually happen. But if
and
there was some way to make them real, I would make them real.
well, I'll add to that. People do make them real. People have like they buy body pillows, and they buy dolls, like adult dolls,
Yeah,
and they
that's a
literally
mental derangement.
it could be, but well, and it is. It's a psychological comorbidity there. Uh,
Some
various
people do take it too far,
Yes,
and
but they
that
literally bring the waifu to life, is what I'm saying. It's objectism, I believe, is what it's called. It's a fetish, but it is also a psychological disorder. There's a show on I forget the name of the show. My Weird Addiction or Strange Addiction.
I hate that. I hate that show.
Oh,
They
okay.
exploit people, and oh, it's not what you think it is. They exploit people and twist
Yeah, they
these
do.
things and make them seem far worse than what they actually are. And I hate TLC.
Yeah.
I hate those types of shows. It's the worst.
Well, that's what brings in the views. But a lot of those, you are correct. They do really exaggerate things, and a lot of it is quite hurtful to the people, especially after the fact when they see the premiere of the show. So,
Yep.
do
Let's
you,
read what
yeah, I was just
Manic
going to
said
ask
about
you
his
that.
anime thing.
I was just going to ask
This
you that
is he
because
goes,
I
I
don't
was
want to
never
pull up
huge.
Discord. So,
No, you're good. He goes, I was never huge into anime. Does Avatar The Last Airbender count?
so that's
I
what.
enjoy storytelling first and foremost, the many twists and turns along the way, and that's obviously not limited to anime.
Hmm. So the
I
Last
would say,
Airbender is an anime, isn't it? It's a child, like young generation, young demographic anime, but it is an anime.
okay, so here's the debate, and it's stupid, and I'll tell you why it's stupid, but I'll also tell you why there's a reason to understand the debate. To the Westerners, it's not an anime because
It's a cartoon.
yes, Japanese people didn't make it, therefore Japanese anime it is not.
Gotcha.
While the Japanese would see it and say, yes, that's an anime because it's a cartoon.
So it's kind of like champagne is not champagne unless it comes from Champagne. Champagne's a real location,
No,
geographically.
it's more like to the rest of the world, trees aren't trees, they're just tall bushes.
Okay, that's a nice way to put it. All
Like
right.
to the most of the world, trees aren't actually or trees or bushes, yeah, they're like interchangeable. They don't really have a separation in their language. We're the ones that started calling trees trees and bushes bushes and separating the two.
Manic said something else there. Did you catch that by chance? I think he said something about it
Uh,
was made in South Korea, I think.
it was animated in South Korea though. Yeah, that was the animation itself being made, not the storyboard, not the inking, not the actual voiceover, not any of the actual and because of that, it's not and all like creative names that are actually credited are all English. And this is an English or an American owned company that made it. So it's not going to
Ah,
be considered anime.
okay. Well,
And
that's a
that's
good way
and
to explain that.
that's the reason why there's that debate there. It's stupid, but if you're a hardcore person, that's
So does anime have to be Eastern, is what Manic asked, and that's a very good question. Does a product or a service that is from a specific location, like Champagne, I forget where the country Champagne is, but if Champagne, true Champagne, it could be made outside, it cannot be made outside of, well, it can be, but it's not referred to as Champagne if it's not from Champagne. But does that also apply to an anime? If can you make an American anime? What makes an anime an anime? Does it have to be based in Eastern geographic region? or have Eastern creators?
It has to, okay, for the American populace to accept it as an anime, from what I understand, is that it has to come from Japan. It
Okay.
has to be a Japanese specific, like, some Chinese things used to get in through this, but like China's media sort of dried up, and I don't think a lot of Chinese anime has been coming out of anything. But specifically because, yes,
Purists, yes.
you're right, Manic, purists. Because of purists, it's gonna be anime has to be from Japan. Everything else is just cartoons or animation.
Right. Okay.
It's stupid. It really is, but it's a way to classify Japanese animation within the world of animation, just by simply shorthanding Japanese animation to anime and keeping the rest of the world separate by calling them other animations.
Gotcha.
It's
And
it's a way of tribalism, but it's also used for identification. It's stupid, but it happens.
And so Manic says, I disagree. If it looks and smells like anime, therefore it is anime. I think, therefore I am. If this is an orange and I'm eating it.
In those words, the Animaniacs is an anime.
Okay.
Courage, the Cowardly Dog is an anime.
Oh, that's a great
Invader
trying to say
Zim.
show and series at the same time.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 1987 series, is an anime, according to your rules.
So essentially, when we think of an anime in the broad sense, it's based in Eastern geographical regions, but not only that, mainly it's created from Eastern oriented individuals.
From Japanese.
Yes, okay. So there is
yeah.
the consensus there. Okay.
Purists will like definitely say that it's either going to be just all Asian animation content or specifically Japanese animation content. That's what's going to be considered as anime.
Gotcha. So, how would we link this into the influence on popular culture, which is one of the other main aspects that you had wanted to speak on, to touch on? The
Okay.
influence throughout media, I believe, is how Manic framed it earlier, as well as yourself.
World War II created anime. That's a fact.
Okay. I'm not arguing with you. I have no idea. So educate me.
Well,
Educate the audience.
when
and Manic
American
as well.
soldiers were occupying Japan, they brought over American comics and cartoon shows, and those became so popular that Japanese people said, "Yes, let's make a pure industry out of it," and that's how the anime and manga industry got started. Was World War II popular culture, nerd culture.
Nice.
Superman, the Phantom Menace, and a few of those really early comics that wouldn't be recognizable by today's standards because of just how differently they were written.
So,
But yeah,
I did mention I was going to share my post that I did earlier, but I'm not going to share the whole thing because it's quite lengthy. But some examples of popular culture include television series, Netflix series, comic books, and musical artists. In specific, the definition provided by Kidd, this is dated 2017. The definition of popular culture is the set of practices, beliefs, and objects that embody the most broadly shared meanings of a social system. It includes media objects, entertainment and leisure, fashion and trends, and linguistic conventions, among other things. So that's popular culture. And so how does that influence culture? Well, it could be a commodity. It can be commoditized. Anyhow, popular culture very often becomes a commodity, right? That's where we have television shows, movies, comic books, things of that nature. How does it influence culture? Well, it influences our beliefs. It influences our symbolisms, our narratives, our stories, our values. And this also leads to subcultures like skaters. He was a skater boy, like those type of
Emo.
yes. So it influences different cultures, but also overall it influences culture because it all commingles together, and we take something from that. We in our daily lives we take a little bit of piece of that, and it resonates with us, and we consider it to be of value to us, even though it's intangible and it doesn't exist. And that's where I'll get into nihilism, but I'll touch on that in a second. So, Nicro, Manic.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. I was going to ask you to try speaking. We'll let you know if it starts cutting out like a metal can. So,
I'm looking more at the bars on my data.
gotcha. And I do believe that's
Yeah.
the main issue here.
I think so too. Yeah.
Okay, so pop culture. Well, the most recent example of Dragon Ball just straight up being influenced by popular culture would be when Ronda Rousey showed up on the WWE wearing an over 9,000 t-shirt with Vegeta and making her wrestling career debut because she just showed up and started wrestling.
Mm,
And
that's
but yeah,
hilarious.
she's really famous for her being a Dragon Ball Z fan. It's Dragon Ball's what started the whole sort of got the whole tournament sagas
Mm,
in anime and manga jump started because again,
Yeah.
in the original starting point, Dragon Ball was a Journey to the West story. And after its first little bit, they could only take it so far, so let's change it up and add some martial arts and like go deeper into that thing, and let's add some tournaments. Adding Krillin literally saved the series though, because again, the
a
the way the
relatable
first
character, would you say? Relatable to a lot of people?
well, it's not really just relatability, it's also that it brought it into a way that the story can continue
Okay.
past its origins, because again, it was very much based off Journey to the West.
Right. Okay.
Then there's only so much you can do with that. Yes, it's a very episodic type story because there's a lot
Mm,
that's in that. But again, there's only so much you can do. And so when he pivoted more into the martial arts and started with the whole martial arts tournament, and then it started expanding the lore, it just it turned into the phenomenon that it became. Multiple countries held parades in honor of Akira Toriyama's death.
I am not surprised at all. I mean, he's a creator. It doesn't matter if it's anime or if it's a musical artist or if it is a novelist. But Dragon Ball Z is known the world around. I was also going to make mention of Pokemon. What would you say about Pokemon? How could you relate that to? Because that is also a cartoon, but it's American made, yes, or I don't know. I have no idea. Is Pokemon American
No,
made?
no, Pokemon is from Japan.
Okay.
What makes it Americanized
Well, I meant
is
like the
that
show.
yeah. The show is still from Japan.
Mm,
What made it Americanized is when WB was really big, they got all the translation rights and everything.
okay.
And so they was able to edit and change a whole bunch of stuff when changing it from when translating it. And they really messed with some of the meanings of like the most like obvious example is one episode Brock, one of the characters, he pulls out this onigiri, which is a rice ball with the seaweed wrapping. In the WB Kids cartoon show, he calls it a donut. like a
Nice.
jelly-filled donut, and he pulls out onigiri. So yeah, there's a disconnect. It's still a lot of people would call that a cartoon because of how Americanized the language became. It is still considered an anime, though,
Okay.
to me.
Okay. That's fair. It's
I
fair.
don't think the translation makes a difference there.
Yeah.
You would be surprised.
I personally, I don't think it does either. But I think when it comes to originality, like, again, I keep going back to champagne. It's not champagne if it's not from the region Champagne. Like, you can still make champagne outside of Champagne, but it's not literally champagne unless
They
it's from
raised
Champagne.
They raised enough of a stink when making the show that they literally changed everything from the original manga.
Mm.
That's how much of a
Yeah.
change WB had over making the show. Because this show was supposed to be this worldwide release, because at the time Pokemon already made itself really popular because it was already out in Japan for a couple years. Then as far as like the game goes, the original game, and then the game
I'm talking about the
and
card
the
game.
no,
The video game.
video game. The video game's what started it all.
So we have that on Game Boy Color. We also have Pokemon Snap on Nintendo 64.
Though Game Boy, Pokemon Blue, Green, and Red.
Mm-hmm. Sapphire
Those-
too, as well. Is that on Game Boy Advance?
That's Game Boy Advance, and that's third generation.
Okay.
No, the originals were on Game Boy. The original, they released in 1995, I
Oh,
think, in
wow.
Japan.
So black
Yeah.
and white and monochrome colors. Jeez.
Yes,
Holy crap.
and then in 1997, they released Red and Blue worldwide, or at least in America, and that game blew up so much that they even got to do a special edition Yellow that updated all the sprites and made it more in line with the cartoon. But the manga that they was originally trying to make into the cartoon, when they was deciding with all that's going to be involved with making it, there was so much editorial changes that it ended up being changed from the manga that they was originally starting out with to what the cartoon became. And the
Okay.
manga became something completely different. Like in the manga, Gary has a Charmeleon. He's the rival character for the main protagonist for the games and such.
Okay.
His Pokemon, a Charmeleon, literally cuts an Arbok in half.
Wow. I imagine
Yeah.
that's probably pretty crazy. I don't know what an
Look out,
Arbok is.
So yeah, the original, like I said, so the original manga story that was going to become the cartoon got editorialized and changed so much that it just became a cartoon
Gotcha. Okay.
compared to what it could have been. But
So-
I'm not holding it
the
against it.
argument.
I still like Pokemon, the cartoon show. I watched up until like I think the Hoenn series is when I stopped watching the cartoon.
Okay, so let's link back to the cultural references real quick because I have another article pulled up here. So, in terms of cultural references, it's been established now that Dragon Ball Z is highly influential culturally. And so this article here, the Dragon Ball Z Store.com has an article on Dragon Ball Z, but so it mentions that the series introduced concepts and terms that have become part of popular culture. Super Saiyan, which is to describe the ultimate transformation of a Saiyan warrior, is often referenced in other media, which it is, in many different things. And then it says, additionally, the iconic energy attacks like the Kamehameha.
Kamehameha.
Yeah, there we go.
Kamehameha.
There we go. Like that wave have been replicated in other forms of entertainment. So,
Yep. Like Dragon Ball is literally the I'm gonna call up my special move and then it'd be a flashy laser. Or you see me now, and then I disappear, and I'm over here doing this thing, and then I disappear, and I'm over this there. They're like Naruto's gimmick with the Rasengan. That's just Dragon Ball's Kamehameha, but without the beam.
Gotcha. Manic, I heard a little bit of it there, cut out a little bit, but do you want to try repeating it?
I was going to say, I want to point out during the Super Saiyan bed that Super Sonic from Sonic the Hedgehog is likely inspired by that.
So,
yeah, Supersonic.
Gold and yeah, fly around and shit. It's the same thing.
You
So-
cut out there, but
yeah.
I did hear the Supersonic, and yes, Supersonic.
I know what
The
you're talking
Archie
about as
comics
well.
is-
Yes, in Sonic Adventure 2, especially when Shadow and Sonic fight the final boss, and they become "quote unquote" Super Sonic and Super Hedgehog. Yes.
Super Shadow.
Yep.
Have you ever read the Archie comics for Sonic?
I have not personally.
Dude, that like some of that stuff is just insane. You're gonna have to type that one out,
Yeah.
Manic.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. Hey, Manic, it's all right. We're here to let you know when it's cutting out, and when we let you know, just type it. It's not a big deal. We've got your back, man. Hopefully next week
yeah.
or next week we're probably not gonna be able to, guys, because we know what I have going on. That at the end of the month, but May 3rd will be our next stream. We might be able to do one at the end of the month. We'll just see. I'll let you guys know how I'm feeling. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. It's very stressful, but
Oh yeah.
I won't talk about that on the stream here. But I'm gonna grab a drink. And by the way, guys, we have about 28 minutes left, so we still have some headway here to make. So
Okay.
feels like we've been talking for an hour, and we've really covered a lot, haven't we? In a short amount of time, 30 minutes, 31 minutes. But, yeah, go ahead and choose another top or another angle here, another mention. I'll be right back, guys. My refrigerator's literally right behind me.
You're good. Manic, go ahead and type out what you're wanting to set your topic out, and I'll read it out for everybody. But I'll fill in the dead air while he's typing. So with pop culture, it's funny how cyclical it is, because again, what we had during World War II, our pop culture, Superman, comics, cartoons, Popeye the Sailor Man, stuff like that, inspired anime, and now anime is now flooding the markets, and it's what's defining the current pop culture, and it's become everywhere. Anime has gone through video games, it has gone through music, because there's Vocaloids now. I don't know if you know what that is.
Vocaloids. Never heard of that myself.
It's you know what a VTuber essentially is?
Yes, we were speaking about that earlier. Remember with the yeah. I know what a VTuber is. Yeah, there's a lot of people on Twitch that do that.
Essentially that, but minus the person behind them. They have like an AI.
Do you know who
voice-generated thing.
Code Miko is by chance?
Hatsune Miku, yes. That is a Vocaloid.
On Twitch.
The most popular Vocaloid.
The girl on Twitch called Code Miko.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Um,
She wears like a bodysuit and like has a very advanced vlog type character. It's crazy. Just I'll mention it in Discord later if you're interested in it. But it's a trip, man. It's very cool, very crazy. But anyways,
I only really pay attention to two VTubers. One's Iron Mouse. She's sort of funny. Like, she has some downright hilarious moments.
okay.
And then Matara Karn.
I haven't heard of either of those individuals, so you'll have to share those. I'll have to check
Uh,
them out.
they're
GM
the
Shinmu.
Sojo.
GM Shinmu is not a VTuber, Manic. Well, I guess you could say he uses Rio as a VTuber, so maybe I suppose. But he's not a necessarily a VTuber, I wouldn't say. Yes, he has experimented with it, that's the thing. But I wouldn't say that he's a VTuber, but he has experimented with it, that is for sure. He uses Ryo Hazuki. Are you familiar with Ryo Hazuki, Nicro? From
That's the Shenmue,
yes,
right?
that is correct. Yeah.
I've never played this series. I've seen bits and pieces. I know Shenmue has some Dragon Ball influences in it, but again, that's a series that I never was able to get a hold of when I was growing up.
Oh man, you really should try giving it another go. But Manic says, what's the difference? What's the difference between experimentation with a VTuber and actually doing VTubing? Well, I would say that if you experiment with something, let's say I experimented with LSD. Well, I wouldn't say that I'm an LSD taker because I just tried it a couple of times, maybe. Although I've never tried LSD, I'm just trying to make an example. I never would try LSD, I'd be terrified. But I would say that consistency in doing something, trying a new flavor of ice cream, that doesn't make it your go-to ice cream, you know? But if it becomes habitual, if you're consistent with it, then you can say, okay, this is something that I would label myself as practicing or doing or something I like. So the answer to that is consistency, habitual consistency, I would say. Maybe not, but the influence is there. I suppose but my answer is habitualness, being consistent in something. But I would say trying out something, experimenting with it a time or two doesn't necessarily mean that that's something that is, you can say, oh, I'm this, you know? So, yeah, okay. Nicro, what about yourself? You have crystal clear cutout when you stop talking too, by the way. Do you have a noise gate built into that microphone that you use, or your headphones?
This is a one of those Razer headphone things, so it's like made for PC gaming.
Yeah, but if you know OBS and stuff, like you can use like noise gates and noise suppression, it seems like your headphones have noise gate built into them. Because when you
I have
stop
no
talking,
idea.
it just cuts out. It's like nothing, silence. So
Well, I'm also
Yeah.
sitting in my room
I got you. Okay.
with nothing going on, but no. As far as like the technical side behind what this headphones do, I don't know. I can't tell you, but it's was a $80 headphones that I was able to get for $35,
Very nice.
and
eBay?
I love these things. No, a friend of mine.
Oh, cool.
He upgraded his headset because he wanted this wireless set, and he was like, I'll sell you this for $35 because my Turtle Beaches, which I had for 2 years, broke.
Uh,
And he said, I'll sell you this or this, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure.
there you
Like,
go.
Yeah, I love these things.
Yeah, they're very good, man. Sharp quality, very sharp. All right. So, what other things do we have to touch on here? 200 for this Astro and mix amp, Manic. Wow. Dang. That's a pretty penny there. Holy crap. Lasted 10 years, yeah.
Definitely get your money's worth if it can last that long in today's day and age. Planned obsolescence stuff is getting worse.
Well, these companies, they have the innovations, they have the inventions, but they just hold on to them, and they release them 5 years later because it's a long-term asset. You know what I mean? Like they already have tons of technology, many different companies, but they just hold on to it, and it's like a long-term investment. You know.
Well, they also do have planned obsolescence built into everything.
Right. And that's why
They
they
don't.
hold
They
on to
don't.
their
Yeah,
innovations and release them once these uh, technologies become obsolete.
yeah. They want you to
Capitalism.
constantly buy. They want to kneecap us, and where we're constantly having to go to them for everything that we need, without actually understanding that if we're constantly wasting resources by constantly rebuilding the same shit over and over and over without actually doing anything. I
Yeah.
don't want to get up to that. That's a
Oh,
completely
yes. It,
different option.
it bothers me as well. Extremely bad for the environment. Indeed. But that's why I don't like capitalism. I prefer socialism. Socialism is very similar to communism, but I'm a fan of democratic socialism, which means the people own the goods and the people elect people that govern the goods, and as long as you put into the system, you get something out of it. So it alleviates poverty. No
Yeah,
more
that's
haves and
never going to
have-nots.
happen.
It's not in the United States. Not in the United States.
It's not even just about being in the United States or not. That will never happen unless fundamentally, as a society, as us as humans, change. We put
That's
too
where.
much stock in the
Have you heard of?
materialistic needs.
Yes. Have you heard of Max Weber, the sociologist? Do you know why? Do you know how changes become evident? Revolutions. We need to rise up as a people, but we're sheep. We're sheeple. We're too afraid to do it.
Hey guys, is this message coming through loud and clear? Because if so, I'm just going to send voice messages from now on when I can.
It is
Yeah.
coming through
Keyboards
better.
fucking suck, bro.
Coming
It's coming
through
through better.
All right. Well,
So, so, uh, give us something.
Socialism.
Socialism. Yeah, there's our topic. At the moment, it is.
I'll have
Here.
to say this. Oh,
sorry. Continue.
okay. There's good and bad to everything, but I will not downright dismiss the good that capitalism has done, but it also has done a lot of harm.
What good has
But
capitalism done?
it's a free market that brings anyone and everyone has a fair chance.
But that's not
Opportunity is
true.
fair to every. Opportunity has to be fair to everyone. It's
But
not,
it's
but
not.
it should.
It's an idea, and it's an idea presented so that everybody will get behind it and say, yes, we can do that too. The American dream, yeah. But do you know how many different influential factors there are that influence people to be kept into the rich get richer and the poor get poorer? Simple as that. I'll just stop talking.
Yes.
Don't need to say anything else. Simple as that.
And yes, there are things that are in the way that are stopping it, but capitalism in itself isn't an issue. It's the greed behind it. It's the people that's corrupting the system and making it all about them and how badly they can fill their pockets.
Yes.
But
well, I think that's baked in to capitalism, personally, anyway. But I can see what you're saying, though. I can see where you can say it can be a benefit because, sure, it could be. But it's just we don't see that throughout time. Maybe in the very early beginnings of society, perhaps. But
nah, I like the idea of there being a free market open to anyone who can make it. But the problem is that in order to make it in today's day and age, you have to game the system. Whatever system you're wanting to be a part of, you still have to game it. And because of this hustle culture, I hate that word.
you know,
It's all become about making money all the time. Nobody is just simply enjoying what they have. Nobody is just content with being where they are. They all have to try to be better. They all have to have more. They all have to go for the next thing.
and see, this is where
And
we can integrate Buddhism. But go ahead and continue.
But and that's the issue, is that we still have this driving need for want for stuff, but we don't take the time to actually comprehend and appreciate what we actually have. We have
Yes.
become this gluttonous, over-consuming nonsense, and that's not the problem of capitalism. That's the problem of human greed.
Well, I would say
That's
that
the
capitalism
individual.
encourages it. Heavily so.
Capitalism makes it more available to be degenerate with your purchasing and stuff like that, but it still comes down to the individual ultimately who buys the stuff. Now, it does say something when the
But we're
society sells
encouraged as
shit.
citizens to buy every single day. It's in our face when we check our messages, when we go outside. We're constantly encouraged to buy. Buy this, you need this. You know, it's built in. So it's voice messages aren't good. It's lagging out for you, Manic. I can see that your microphone is on mute. It's showing that on the stream as well. Hopefully we can get this figured out for next time, man. I almost feel like you need to get an antenna. Not like a huge antenna, but like they build antennas, manufacture antennas for cell phones.
All right, so I listened to your voice message, Manic. It came through just fine.
Did it?
Yeah, I clicked the play on his voice message, and it says, "Hey, I'm trying this. See if it sounds just fine," or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not pulling up Discord because I don't want it to show on the stream accidentally.
No, I got you. That's why, I'm taking over and making sure that So your voice message did come through, Manic.
Yeah, and I
Sorry.
appreciate you reading his messages as well.
Yeah.
I'm just reading them as they pop up on my screen notifications, you know? Took over 30 seconds to actually go through. Jeez.
Oh, Jesus. Well, never mind. I don't think you want to try that. I think typing will be much faster then.
It could just be the time, you know? Like I said, it could just be saturated network right now, and he's not getting the priority he needs on his signal, so...
Well, it being almost 9:30, it being a Friday night, yeah,
Yeah, I
there's
don't
gonna be
know.
a lot of kids.
No idea.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you good for right now. We can, and we've got
Well,
about 12
shit,
minutes left
okay.
too. So hopefully you can come
All
through and
right.
give us a little bit of talking.
I hope. Damn, that sucked.
It's all right, man. We adapted, right? We made it work. So, but
Right? Yeah. No, it's fine.
yeah,
We got through it. It's all that matters. But yeah. But the point that I was going to make was that, you know, influenced by anime and certain storytelling devices, Shenmue was made and really kind of changed gaming as we know it. The influence can be felt more, 25 years later? They came out, 98, 99? Long time ago.
Yes.
So, like, it's the first game to really have an open world, an explorable 3D open world. You know, so far that you could explore all the different nooks and crannies of your house. You can go in, open every drawer, see just what the fuck Fukusan is hiding in his fucking, you know, in his sock drawer. Just, you know, go and just see all the stuff that, you know, it changed things. It had a day-night cycle. It had NPCs that had jobs that they went to, and you could go and visit them at their jobs. You know, it all had this in-depthness to it that
It's a living
really,
world.
like, it came before everything else. A living world, yes.
And what's funny
the
about
second
that?
game took it in a different direction.
And
Go
what's funny about that is that Shenmue had this complex thing for its NPCs where they had all sorts of things that they had to do and follow.
Yeah.
They tried to do that for Oblivion, and they ended up having to tone it down so much because all their NPCs tried to steal everything from everyone.
Nature of society built right into the game.
There it is, right there.
But
That's funny.
According to the early development notes about Oblivion, is that their NPC development program thing, early on made it to where everybody ended up trying to steal everything because they made the AI rule thing way too much or something like that. It was so
Right.
funny. It's just they couldn't get something that seems as simple as NPC pre-programmed to do things, and they fucked it up that bad.
Not that bad.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
still
mean,
feel
Shimu
like
just
there's
kind of.
some. Go ahead, Manic. I'm going to let you talk, man,
Oh,
because we've
I
got
was gonna
like
say it
9
kind of
minutes left. So.
revolutionized. It revolutionized a lot of things that we kind of take for granted nowadays. You know, it did things.
It had
I
a
mean, it was
uniqueness to
very
it.
expensive.
There's something special
Yeah,
about it.
and so like when you the diehard core, you know, they want a game like that. You know, and at this point, I think the real like nagging thing with these diehard fans is the story isn't finished. It's been 25 years now. It's been 5 years since the last game came out,
Well,
and
we're
you
supposed
know
to go to
that was a
Shenmue
miracle
5.
in and it.
So.
Yeah, like we could do Shenmue 8 by now. Shenmue 10.
Yeah.
It could have already been finished in a perfect world, but the game was too expensive. It didn't make back the earnings, and so even if it did a whole lot of first before everyone else, you owe that influence to that game at the end of the day. Like it really is kind of that simple.
I would agree.
And there's also the influence there too. Like it started out as a RPG of Virtua Fighter.
It did.
And you can
what's his name?
absolutely play the game. Yeah, Ryu.
Yes.
I think. Was it Ryu?
Yeah, it was something like that.
It
but
eventually became Ryo.
Yes, that is true. Yu Suzuki kind of wanted to explore the idea of a backstory of one of the fighters, and that's what he did, and he did an amazing job. It was very innovative. Very great.
Yeah. I mean, it works by itself. And I mean, I wish I lived long enough to see the end of the story.
Yeah, well, there's still talks
I've
of
invested a
rumors
long time into that.
Yeah, there's still talks and rumors of Shenmue 4, because if we look at the storyboard, it's supposed to go to Shenmue 5 to finish all the chapters. So.
Hell, man. There were talks and rumors for 20 years about Shenmue 3. What, 18 years? Close enough.
I heard 18 years. The rest was sort of just cutting out a little bit too much for me.
Oh, man. Hopefully we can get this figured out next time, man. It's such a...
Yeah, this sucks.
Yeah. What do you think's the difference? Like, what happened between now and last time?
My phone died.
Well, your phone got cracked, too. Your screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we look at it then, right?
Fix it.
The only thing that happened between now and then is your phone screen got cracked. That's why I'm saying it probably
like I'm
messed up
on
your
a different
antennas.
device now compared to the last times.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'll look into it.
So does your computer doesn't work at the current moment because of the power button situation. So it's just going to be the the tablet and or phone. And which one works the best, would you say? You're using the phone.
Well, no, I'm using the tablet.
Do you think you could use the phone next time?
Yeah, the phone's incapacitated.
So no go there.
The screen, it doesn't work.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Damn.
This was the best case scenario here.
Yeah, so you're saying like Tuesday you'll have your phone fixed?
I hope. That would be great.
Okay. Well,
I get paid Monday.
Okay.
So.
Well, don't go and blow all your money on getting. Well, I mean, I guess you need a phone, right? So, okay.
I do. Yes.
Right. But I'll let you guys know how it goes next week. But if we can do one, I'm more than open to do it. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna it's emotional exhaustion. You know what I mean? Like you get, like for me, I get very worried about things.
Oh,
so,
I could rant about today.
Yeah.
I understand about emotional exhaustion.
Yeah, and that's what this has caused for me, with what I have to do. So it's just like, you know what I
No,
mean?
I get
I
you.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. Shit happens, and you
Absolutely.
gotta take care of it. Mental energy has to go to so many things, and
Yeah. And
you just get tired.
I'm hoping that I am let go, like you were also saying, Nigro. This next one is selection. I'll just say selection. That's all I'll say, so that there isn't a definite
Right.
understanding of what this is. But that's what it is, selection. So I'm hoping that after that I'm gone. No more of it. Because if not, that means that I go forward, and that means the thing. You know what I mean? Where I'm sitting there, and I hope that's not the
Yeah.
case, man.
Well, just fib a little bit
Well, that's why I had the
when they
time
ask their
in your day
questions.
to be able to.
I've thought about it, but I'm not gonna, because I don't want to. I don't. I'd rather be honest. You know what I mean? I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to risk it. So, but I hear you.
Well, there's just certain questions that they'll ask that you can just say, you feel a certain way,
Yeah,
and they'll be like, "Okay, goodbye."
yeah, I know. That's what I've been told as well. So I
I'm
just,
not gonna say specifics.
yes,
I'm
I
not
know.
gonna say
Me either.
No, you're
because
fine.
I know the government's listening in some way, shape, or form.
NSA. Yeah, it's Edwards. What is his name? Snowden.
Snowden,
Yeah,
yeah.
Snowden, yeah.
he's a pioneer. He's a hero, to be honest. He brought to light so many things that happens in this government. I mean, they listen and monitor everything. All of our messages, our phone calls, everything, dude. They know everything about us.
Oh, yes. Surprised. No.
Didn't catch all of that there.
You didn't hear that, did you? Ah, fuck.
Part of it.
Hang on.
It sounds like you got a hold of a bad auto tune.
Well, guys, we got a few minutes here. I'm gonna play some. Appalled, yes. Surprised, no. Says Manic. Indeed. Um, yeah, a couple of minutes. I'll let you guys know right before I need to say farewell, but I'll probably talk to you again tonight. But I'm gonna roll some Xbox 360. Try that out. I've got it plugged into the capture card, so I'm gonna try that out. But
Nice.
if I don't get the video split tonight, because I'm gonna try to split it this time, because last time I just uploaded the whole damn thing and did timestamps. I might do that again, but I'm probably gonna wait until tomorrow and take my time with it, so I'm not rushing it.
Gotcha.
But if I upload it tonight, I'll let you know. I might just say fuck it and just upload it and do timestamps. So, but very good podcast tonight, I have to say. And Necro, you presented yourself very, very well, and you very knowledgeable about what you had to speak of, and also gave a lot of information to the audience as well about manga and anime and the influences on Western society and what it's constituted as officially for anime. It comes from Japan. So very, very good points to make, I think. Very good job, man. Very good topic. So,
Hey, I'm always down to talk about some anime.
hey, was it super great? I didn't catch all of that. Can you see what the...
Paul, yes, surprise, no, that was for the other thing. But then it says, thanks for taking the time to do this. Hate it wasn't super great, but we can only go up from here. Great episode regardless.
That is true, Manic. And that is true. Hopefully, next time we do this, everything is good to go, and I'm sure it will be. Right? Sometimes things happen, so that's how it goes. But Nitro, do you want to give one little bit more tidbit here, and then I'm gonna say farewell, guys, and I'm gonna jump over to the Xbox. We're just about at an hour here. We have 1 minute. Technical difficulties. One more thing.
Last manga suggestion: if you want to read Attack on Titan before it was Attack on Titan, go read Claymore. Pretty decent. My only complaint is that some of the characters make it hard to tell which one's which when they're speaking.
Okay. I'll add that into the description. Necro, message that in the Discord so that I can make mention of that in the description. But other than that, guys, we're approaching the 1 hour mark here. So I'm going to go ahead and say farewell. And this was the podcast with Nicrowassassin, ManicProfessor, and Kai Unity Kai on anime and the influences on popular culture. Manic says have a good night. And,
Caca Peaches.
okay.
I hope you
All
rest
right.
well.
All right, guys. I'll chat with you later on, okay?
Take it easy.
All right. See ya. Alrighty. So that was the podcast. And it was a very good podcast. And what I'm going to do is take a quick restroom break, and I will be right back. And when I return, I'm going to do some Xbox 360. And I'm going to start with Silent Hill Downpour. So I'll be right back in just a second.
Where is my mind? 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 Where is my With your feet in the air, your head on the ground. Try this trick and spin it, yeah. Your head will collapse, but there's nothing in it, and you ask yourself, where is my mind? 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 Where is my I was swimming in the Caribbean. Animals hiding behind the rock, yeah. Except the little fish, but they told me swears, trying to talk to me, coy, coy. Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way out in the water, see it swimming.
Hello, my name is Kai Unity Kai. Gonna play a little bit of Xbox 360 on a capture card. So I'm gonna start it off with some Silent Hill Downpour. And other than Silent Hill Downpour, I have a couple of other games that I'll try out. I'm going to do each game for maybe like 15 or so minutes so that I can try out a few. So I accidentally had the dual capture on there for a second, but fortunately it was only on there for just about 30 seconds, but it looks like there might have been dual audio for just a second, but that is now fixed. It is now only the capture card audio. And fortunately, in the beginning there, when I was in the main menu, really wasn't too much audio going on anyway.
All right, Murphy, it's all set. Make it quick, huh? Follow me. Come on, Murphy, stop screwing around. I don't have all day. He's all yours now. Make it quick, Cupcake. Hey, almost forgot. I left you a little present on the bench. Have fun.
Murph, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. When you guys are running the showers, the steam fogs up the cameras so bad, we can't see anything that goes down in there. You get what I'm saying? Well, what are you waiting for? Turn on the damn showers and the cameras will catch everything you do. Dumb.
Jesus, you scared the hell out of me. What the hell's going on? Where's Sewell? There's been a mistake. I'm a sequestered prisoner. You're not supposed to be here. Guards? Officer Sewell, hello?
You don't recognize me, do you?
What? No, Guards! Guards! Anybody?
We used to be neighbors.
the goddamn door! Help, somebody! This is a violation of my rights. Who the hell do you think you are? When I talk to the warden, I'm...
No one's listening.
Help! Jesus, help me! Help me! Somebody, please! He's trying to kill me! Why?
You know exactly why.
Did I wake you, Pendleton? Come on, rise and shine, Cupcake. You know the drill. Guess today's a big day, huh? To tell you the truth, I'm sort of sorry to see you go. Prisoner secure. Open 302B. Transfer. Well, guess this is it. No fond farewell? You gonna miss us?
Not even a little.
Give it a couple of days at Wayside Max. I bet you'll start to miss this place after all. 'Cause we sure are gonna miss you. Move them out!
I think I have a couple of games installed on the hard drive as well. So maybe I'll play those for a couple of minutes after this instead of doing the other games that I have on disc. Maybe I'll do on the disc games, the other disc games that I have next time.
All yours now,
But I do have a couple of, I think it's demos.
Let's get this done.
Oh, I do have Silent Hill 2
Yeah.
and Silent Hill 3 on the hard
Alright.
drive. It's
You heard
the
the lady. Mount up.
best edition or definitive edition or whatever.
What we got here?
Or remaster, I think it is. Silent Hill 2 and 3 remaster. So maybe I'll try those out.
Pendleton.
And I have a couple of games on the hard drive. Demos, I think. But the Silent Hill remasters I
Get
have.
on the bus.
Silent Hill 2 and 3, that's an actual game. It's on the hard drive. But that way I don't have to worry about taking the disc out. So I think I'll just do that next time I do the Xbox.
Buckle up. Get cozy. We got a
Do
long
those
ride
games.
ahead
But I
of
also
us.
have an Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So I can also do those in the capture card. This is a very good capture card. Very good picture, very good audio. It even sharpens the audio. Quite good. But in the past, when I've done Xbox One and PlayStation 4, I just did it over remote play because I have a really good network, so it worked fine. But now I have an amazing capture card, so capture card from now on it is.
You have a good nap, Weddle? Tell me something, puta. That true what I heard about you? Did you really do it?
Shut the hell up!
Fuck you, Weddle.
I said lock it up, damn it!
Okay, think. Find the highway. Put some ground between yourself and the bus. anyone hear me? I think I see a way across. This is crazy.
That's far enough. Get your ass down on the ground now. Hands where I can see them. Do it.
Take it easy. I'm not going anywhere.
I said, on the ground now.
I was just looking for help.
And you just happened to lose your cuffs in the process? Save the bullshit.
This is stupid. I'll meet you back down at the bus, okay? You're gonna get yourself killed.
Shut up. Keep your goddamn hands where I can see them. Ah! Shit! Pull me up.
So, you have the option to help her or leave her. Me being the person I am, and recognizing a human life in danger, I will help her.
Hang on!
I'm slipping. Oh God!
Don't let go! Don't! Shit! Damn it! If only I'd moved faster. Damn it.
ancient. Free tram ticket. So where the hell's the machine? Power's out. Wow. Look at that. An old 52. Oh, flathead V8. No doubt about it.
Wicked old beast, ain't she?
What?
I said she's a wicked old beast. Me, I'm partial to something with a little less rust. But to each his own.
Look, I don't want any trouble. Just point the way out of town, and I'll keep right on going.
Now, who said anything about trouble? Just trying to be helpful, son. Name's Howard, by the way.
Murphy.
Heading to prison, are you, Murphy?
Just looking for a way out of town is all.
That's so. Afraid all the roads are out, every last one of them. Strangest thing.
What the
Something wrong, son?
Did you see it? Up there in the window.
Hmm?
Never mind.
I suppose if you're really desperate, you could try the old sky tram. Course, it hasn't really been kept up since the accident.
I'll take my chances.
That's the spirit. Well, this mail ain't gonna deliver itself. Good luck, Murphy. Hope you find whatever it is you're looking for.
Hey, what's the name of this place?
Alrighty. So, that is a little bit of Silent Hill Downpour. So I have some other disc games. But instead of putting those other disc games in, I'm just gonna do something that I have on the hard drive for the last half an hour here. And then next week, I'll do one of the other disc games I have, or I'll plug in the Xbox One or PlayStation 4. But I do have some disc games on the hard drive. So I have some demos, and then I also have a full game, which is Silent Hill HD, which is Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3. But since I just did Silent Hill Downpour, let's check out Destiny. Okay, so I think that's just a preview. I don't actually have the this Xbox plugged into the Ethernet, so. And like I said, Silent Hill HD is Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3. But as I did Downpour, and by the way, I have Downpour, it's a disc. It's not on the hard drive other than the saves. I have the actual disc inside the console. So, and I have some other games, like I've mentioned a couple of times now. I tend to repeat myself, but I'll do those next time. But why don't we try out Need for Speed Shift? Also, I have a steering wheel and foot pedals that I do when I play racing games. It wouldn't work on this Xbox 360, but the wheel and pedals I have work on the PlayStation 4 and the PC. So why don't I try out a little bit of Need for Speed? Got about 27 minutes remaining. I try to keep my streams at 2 hours.
Welcome to Need for Speed Shift. Get ready to experience the power and adrenaline of being a real racing driver. Good luck out there.
And this is just a demo.
Right, I've arranged 2 events for you today. The first is in London, and it'll test your cornering and acceleration as you navigate its city streets. And then, now we've got a range of cars for you to use. The Elise and the BMW are a good starting point before progressing onto the GTR and the Viper. If you earn all the stars from both races, you get to drive the Zonda. Go ahead and choose your vehicle.
I'll take the Nissan GTR.
Well, they've closed the streets of Westminster, London for us today. This should be a great race. Let's go over the track. You're going to start on York Road for a quick shoot before hitting a 3-turn sector. Watch out, it could be crowded in there, and with the cinema on your left, it'll be totally blind. I want you to treat this like a chicane that flows into a sweeper. Be precise, hit your marks. Make sure to nail the last right turn apex, but be careful as you'll be pretty close to the barrier on your exit. After that, you got a long straight over Waterloo Bridge. It's a good spot to overtake, but watch out for the entrance to the Strand underpass just before the corner. It's right in the middle and it comes out of nowhere. The exit's a sharp left hairpin, so stay right and start braking once you see Somerset House. When you hit the Victoria Embankment straight, you'll have the London Eye on your left and Big Ben on your right. There's a lot of room here, so you can get pretty creative with your passing. Watch out for a tricky bus stop chicane about 3/4 of the way down. The chicane can be dangerous. It's narrow and you'll have a lot of speed going in. If you hit it too quickly, you'll end up in the barrier. London River isn't like anything you've raced before. Blind corners, narrow stretches, and little runoff means the smallest mistake and lack of discipline could end the race. But we're not interested in the sights, right? I hope you're well rested. Let's get ready to roll. Almost ready to go here. This is it. Good luck. Green. Good luck.
Oh, shit! Listen to that turbo, god darn! Ah, it's so cool, man. I love cars. But yeah, I have a steering wheel and pedals. I play Need for Speed. This is Need for Speed. Need for Speed Shift. But I also played Need for Speed Heat, Need for Speed Payback, Need for Speed 2015. I also play other car racing games, like Assetto Corsa, a couple of others. But I'm a huge Need for Speed fan. But god dang, that freaking turbo! Oh man, sounds so cool. All right, let me retry here. I'm trying to figure out the controllers. I haven't played the Xbox 360 in probably like 2 or 3 years, literally.
Almost ready to go here. This is it. Good luck. Green. Good luck.
Dang it. I'm really rusty. But gosh darn it, is this fun. I'm just using the controller, but dang it. Oh man, it's so freaking fun. I love cars. Mustangs are my favorite.
Sit in the driver's seat like never before. Feel the G-forces affect your head, body, and vision as you approach top speeds or when you brake late for a corner. Feel every bump, crest, and collision as you fight for a podium finish. It's not just about getting on the podium, it's about how you drive to get there. Be feared as an aggressive driver, trading paint, spinning out opponents, and power sliding through corners. Or be respected as a precise driver, perfecting every corner, tracking the perfect race line, waiting for your chance to make a daring pass. You're tracked and analyzed in your driver profile, and your talents will be rewarded. Every dollar you win can go to souping up your cars. Turbochargers, superchargers, nitrous, roll cages, racing dials, chassis upgrades. They're all available to us once we've got the money. Take on rivals in career, online, and single player. Adapt to different racing styles and modes. Time attack, drift, hot lap, eliminator, and driver duel. Stake your reputation online against up to 7 opponents. Tear into 18 tracks and city courses with 50-plus layouts and compete in over 45 additional and exclusive challenges. It's all waiting for us. A groundbreaking cockpit experience, world-class physics, mind-blowing visuals. Need for Speed Shift is the true driver's experience.
And don't forget, you can adjust the difficulty setting and handling model before you head into the next race.
Alright, let me look at the difficulty. Oh, it's on easy. Okay. Let's go for the Nissan GTR again. Pretty good car.
Spa-Francorchamps. This place is one of the greats. The 7-kilometer track with 19 turns and some flat-out straights where you can hit up to 300 kilometers an hour.
So, it's interesting that...
Okay, so you hit the Eau Rouge corner less
they
than
have
10
street
seconds
racing
after the
parts
start.
and a racing game.
It's one of the most challenging corners in the world. It's a fast uphill corkscrew, so you want to run it as smooth as possible. Taking it perfectly is critical to a good lap time. If something goes wrong, though, do not hammer the brakes here, or you'll be in the dirt.
Okay.
I also want you to focus on the Blanchimont corner. It's a left-hand kink with very little runoff. If you want to see the podium, you'll need the courage to run it flat out. You can hit more than 2/3 of Spa at full throttle, and you can overtake on almost every corner and straight.
Cool.
You won't need to slow much for most turns, so don't be timid.
drift has gone.
I also want you to look for any chance to draft opponents on the
It is gonna
straights.
right
Slip
up at
behind
you.
them for a few seconds, then slingshot past. Well, this should be a good one. I hope you're well rested, because you need to be in top form.
So I'm using the, I got my Xbox 360 plugged into a capture card. Last week I did the Dreamcast on the capture card. But this is just a demo. I did Silent Hill Downpour earlier. I have that actually in the disc tray, Silent Hill Downpour. And I have some other games as well on disc, but this is just a demo. And also I'm ending in about 15 minutes, so. Did the podcast earlier, and this is just the gaming part. I did Silent Hill Downpour, and I'm finishing with Need for Speed, and I'm just using the controller.
Start in just a few seconds. This one's all yours. I'll give you the green on my signal. Green, go, go, go!
Go! On it, go! So I noticed that the audio kind of gets a little bit loud. It's hard for me to control that because I don't freaking know what audio settings I need to set here. But anyways, yeah, I got the freaking Xbox 360 plugged into the capture card. Pretty cool. But that's Need for Speed. And like I said, I also have a lot of other discs, like physical discs. One of them is Grand Theft Auto 5, but I have a few others. But that was just a demo. But the disc that's in there right now is Silent Hill Downpour. But now that I have a capture card, that is a really good capture card. Amazing quality. I'll have to do the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. I'll have to plug them into the capture card instead of doing remote play. So, but getting there. The next upgrade I have to do is an AIO. I have an AIO cooler that I'm going to replace this air cooler with. Essentially, it's a liquid and air cooler. So, just haven't installed it yet. Also got a terabyte NVMe SSD. So, quite a good, nice little powerful computer. And then with the consoles, I just plug them into the capture card. But aside from gaming, I want to get back into doing the game development, like the Unity game development. I still have the Castlevania game that I was developing. I still have it saved. I just need to get back into it. And I've done a lot of research on continuing the progress that I left off on, like attaching a player character or a controller to the character I've developed, and a few other things. So it's not going to be just gaming and doing capture with the console, but I also want to do some more development. And also, another thing that I was thinking is the electronic music, because in the past, I have done the electronic music making songs. So that is another thing I'd like to get into again. So I'd like to get back into them. I mean, I've done them. I just want to get back into it, you know? So enrich the experience. But I've got about 10 minutes remaining here. So let me see what else I got here on the Xbox 360. I haven't used this Xbox 360 for about 3 years. And, dang. It's a pretty good console. Like, holy crap. The graphics are really nice. Like, dang. But like I said, I also have an Xbox One, which I've done over remote play many times. And then I have a PlayStation 4. And then the Sega Dreamcast, of course, which I did last time. But Drift, I hope your day's been good, and you're my first chatter. You're definitely a important person. But you're the first person that's chatted tonight. And I would imagine you're probably going to be the only one, because I'm going to end here soon. But I hope you've been doing well, too. And I appreciate you asking me how I've been. And I've been doing okay. I've just been very stressed out. And I've got something I have to do at the end of this month that is quite stressful. And I'm very stressed out about it. So, been in and out, caught a bit of the podcast. Oh, cool. I didn't even notice, man. Because I'm using Restream. So I can't even see who's in the chat room. I have no idea. I could run a program that I usually run where I can see who pops in, but I don't even run it anymore. It's like, you know, who cares? You know? So, not to say that in a bad way, but it's just like, I think I focus too much on like who's in here, so it's just like, you know, stop caring about it. Yeah, well, I hope you're doing okay in terms of being able to relate to that drift. Stress definitely does suck. That's for dang sure. And yeah, I'm doing okay, but I've got something I've got to do at the end of this month that I'm not really looking forward to. In fact, I'm quite nervous about it. But I can't wait to get it over. You know, it's like, just get it over with. You know, that's kind of how I feel about it now. But yeah, I'm not plugged into Xbox Live. I don't even think that Xbox Live works on the Xbox 360 anymore. I think that they shut it down. I think it's only on Xbox One. But, I mean, I could try plugging it into the internet. I have another Ethernet cord. What I'd probably do is plug the Xbox 360 into the computer, and then it could use the computer to pass through the data, if that makes sense. But I think that Xbox 360 doesn't really have internet features anymore. So there's my avatar for the Xbox 360. But yeah, I have Silent Hill HD is Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3. I own that on the hard drive. It's installed. It's a full game. And then I have, like I said, I have a lot of disc games, and then the rest of it is just demos. Ridge Racer, that's another demo. And Destiny doesn't work because it needs it needs to connect to the internet. Sorry about that. It looks like my screenshot tool activated real quick. Oh, it's because I pressed the controller pressed print screen. But anyhow, I'm going to upload this to YouTube after, and I don't think I'm going to do a stream next week, and the reason being is because I'm going to be getting ready for what I have to do at the end of this month. So the next stream probably will not be until May 3rd. May 3rd is a Friday. So won't have a stream next Friday. The next stream will be May 3rd. May 3rd, Friday. So by the time I stream again, it'll be nearly 2 weeks. But it kind of seems that's how my streams are nowadays anyway. It's like I go... It's either every week, once a week, or it's every 2 weeks or even 3 weeks sometimes. I just don't have the time to stream anymore, you know? And definitely don't have the time to stream for multiple hours. Like 5 hours, 5.5 was like what I normally did. Then I cut it down to 3 hours. And nowadays it's 2 hours. And the first hour is the podcast. So it's like I only have an hour to do the gaming. If I did 3 hours, I could do 2 hours of gaming, which I've thought about doing. But the thing is I just don't have it in me physically. You know, I physically can't do it. But next week, I'm going to go ahead and shut down the Xbox. And I'm going to disconnect the capture card. So, I got a couple of minutes left, so just going to kind of wind it out here. But I'm going to upload this to YouTube in just a minute. And probably what I'm ultimately going to end up doing is just uploading the whole freaking video. Like, I want to split the video, gosh darn it, but it takes quite a bit of time to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is just add timestamps. I added timestamps last time. So I'll just upload the whole video and just add timestamps. So the first hour is the podcast. The hour after that is the gaming. So, but I'll end it out here, and thank you for coming by. Drift, you especially, I appreciate it. And known you for a long time, and I hope you're doing well, man. For that, I will say farewell. I will see you May 3rd. Ayam. Have a good night, Drift. See you later.